Okay, today we will see about the official quality control test for tablets. That first we will see the weight variation test. So the tablet is designed to contain a specific amount of drug in a tablet formula. The weight of the tablet is being made help to ensure that the tablet contains the proper amount of drug. So sample of tablets are taken and weighed. So this weight variation test is done to confirm the uniformity of weight of tablet in the batch prepared. Okay. So the USP, that is a United States Pharmacopoeia weight variation test, is run by weighing 20 tablets, initially 20 tablets individually, then calculating the average weight and comparing it with individual weight. So 20 tablets according to the USP are enough, provides limit for this, and in the procedure you will be taking 20 tablets initially and weighed it individually, then you are calculating the average weight. So you have the average weight, then you can compare it with the individual weight. The tablet passes the test if not more than 2 tablets are outside the percentage limit. Or we can say the weight variation tolerance for the uncoated tablets, that depends upon their weight, that is given in official compendium, and the tablet passes the test if not more than 2 tablets are outside the percentage limit. So according to the official compendia, the limits are given. So according to IP or BP, that is Indian Pharmacopoeia or British Pharmacopoeia, if the tablet is having a weight of 80 mg or less, then the percentage limit allowed is plus or minus 10%. But for according to USP, that is United States Pharmacopoeia, it is the tablet weight they have taken is 130 mg or less. So according to USP, if a tablet is having a weight of 130 mg or less, then the limit allowed is plus or minus 10%. So like that. Same way, if the tablet is having more than 8 mg or less than 250 mg, then the limit allowed is plus or minus 7.5%. And according to USP, if the tablet is having weight of 130 mg, more than 130 mg, but below 324 mg, then the limit allowed is plus or minus 7.5%. Same way, if the tablet is weighs more than 250 mg, then according to IP or BP, if it is more than 250 mg, then the percentage limit allowed is plus or minus 5%. According to USP, if it is more than 324 mg, then the limit allowed is plus or minus 5%. That means this limit they have given plus or minus 10%, plus or minus 7.5%, plus or minus 5%. Then not more than 2 tablets. Then not more than 2 tablets are outside, should not be outside the percentage limit. Then it passes the test. If it is outside the limit, then it fails the test for weight variation. That is called as the weight variation test. Next is another important test, that is called as the content uniformity. So the test is you are conducted to ensure the content uniformity of the drug. That means the active ingredient, that is the active content, you are making sure that it is in the calculated percentage. Okay, and it also should be same in all the tablet. For ensuring that content, you are conducting the content uniformity study, or we can call it as a assay study. You are measuring the drug content. Okay, so for that procedure, you will be randomly selecting 30 tablets. You are randomly will be taking from one batch. Randomly you will be taking 30 tablets. Then from the 30 tablets, you will be selecting 10 tablets. Then that is assayed individually. All the 10 tablets are assayed individually. Okay. Then 9 out of 10 that is 9 tablets out of 10 must contain not less than 85% or more than 115% of labeled claim. So we are considering that the labeled claim should be is 100%. To consider like that, and you have assayed all the 10 individually, then at least 9 out of 10 should have plus or minus, we can say plus or minus 15% of the labeled claim. Plus or minus 15% of the label claim. That is it is given as 85% or 115%. That is plus or minus 15. That is 15%. And the tenth one not less than plus or minus 25%. That is given as 75% or 125%. So the 10th tablet it should contain, or the content should not be less than 75 or 125%. That means should not be less than plus or minus 25%. If it is so, then it passes the test. If the limit is outside 15% or 10th one is outside 25%, then the remaining 20 is assigned. Initially you have taken 10 out of 30, you have selected, taken only 10, then remaining 20 is there. That is, if the first test fails, then we will be taking the remaining 20. Then remaining 20 is assigned. Then none of them fall outside plus or minus 15%. Then none of them. If I taken 20 again, then all the 20 should be within plus or minus 15%. That is, or we can say it should be 85 to 115%. That is the meaning of plus or minus 15%. If so, then it passes the content uniformity test. Then it passes the content uniformity test. These are the first two official tests. Then moving on to the next important test, that is called as the disintegration. So once if you take a tablet orally, it has to disintegrate. That means it has to break down into smaller particles. Then it goes into the solution, that is called as the dissolution. We will be doing that. Okay. So for most of the tablets, the first important step towards solution is the breaking of tablets into smaller particles. So according to USP, the tablet must pass the test for disintegration, which is conducted in vitro using disintegration test apparatus. So according to USP, all the tablets should pass the disintegration test that is conducted in vitro. So by conducting the disintegration study, you will be finding out the disintegration time. Okay. So the apparatus usually consists of a basket rack assembly. Usually it consists of 6 open-ended transparent tube held vertically upon a 10 mesh stainless steel wire screen. During testing, the tablet is placed in each of the 6 tubes of the basket, and through the use of mechanical device, the basket is raised and lowered in a water bath, that is called as the medium, at 29 to 32 cycles per minute. The wire screen always below the level of the fluid, and a perforated plastic disc may also used in the test. These are placed on the top of the tablet and impart abrasive action to the tablet. Okay, just show you the diagram. So this is the disintegration test apparatus. You can see this is the disintegration test apparatus. There is 2 flasks. So in the flask, you can see there are some cylindrical tubes. There is usually, I told you, this is a 6 open-ended transparent tube. You can see inside this 6 open-ended transparent tubes. So this is the enlargement of this one glass tube, and there will be 6 open-ended tubes. Okay, it's one of the tubes. So in each of the 6 tubes of the basket, there is a mechanical device to move. This is a mechanical devices It allows the upper and lower movement. Okay, then usually it is raised and lowered at 29 to 32 cycles per minute. Per minute, the upward and downward movement is, the cycle is 29 to 32. And always there will be a wire mesh below the fluid. Then a perforated plastic disc also used in the test, that is usually placed over the tablet. But taking the tablet inside the open-ended tube, and above that will be placing this perforated plastic disc that will give an abrasive action to the tablet. So in the medium, this basket or the tube will be moving upward and downward, that is 29 to 32 cycles per minute, and the disc placed over the tablet also gives an abrasive action. Okay, and also the temperature, usually the movement is closer to 2.5 centimeter from top to the beaker. Okay, and also we can see there is a frequency, I told you, 28 to 32 cycles per minute, and the one tablet is placed in each tube, and the basket rack is positioned in 1 liter beaker of the water or simulated gastric fluid at body temperature, that is 37 plus or minus 2 degrees centigrade. Usually maintaining 37 degrees, that is the body temperature you will be maintaining. Okay, so you are maintaining the body temperature and you are placing the drug inside the tube, the open-ended tube, and you are placing the plastic disc, then it is moving up and down, that is 29 to 32 movements per minute. Okay, or you can say 28 to 32 cycles per minute. Then due to the abrasive action, the tablet will disintegrate. So this is the apparatus used for that. So to compliance with the USP standard, the tablet must disintegrate and all particles must pass through 10 mesh screen in the time specified. I already told you there is a mesh screen. So all the tablet should disintegrate and it should pass through the 10 sieve number screen. Okay, to the 10 mesh screen in the time specified. Within the specified period of time, all the tablet should disintegrate and it should pass through the 10 mesh size. So usually for the uncoated tablets, the disintegration time given by the USP is the 15 minutes. In most of the cases, this disintegration time is given, especially for the uncoated tablet is the 15 minutes, and for the coated tablet it is given as 30 minutes, and for the entry coated tablet is given as 1 hour. And the entry coated tablets it's given as 1 hour. And this test is not applicable or it is not required to comply for the chewable tablets. Okay, chewable tablets are not required to comply with the test, because chewable, you know that you are chew inside the oral cavity. Okay, so these chewable tablets are not required to comply with the test.